Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you how to easily beat the first Sinner boss in Hollow Knight Silksong. So this can actually be done much easier if we have the clawline grapple there, because you can see there it gives you a really good answer to a lot of her attacks. I'd also recommend having the throwing knives there, because she's going to try and bind later on and we want to be able to disrupt that. The poison is a nice little additional there, but you don't need that. I would recommend actually not utilizing your tools too much to the second phase, because this doesn't actually replenish your tools because you don't go to a bench after fighting this boss. But you want to, for the first phase, she's a little bit slower. She does speed up out of frustration after you interrupt her binding attacks, but just going to continue to keep doing that. Whenever she tries to bind, use the claw line or your throwing knife to stop that, and just keep focusing on avoiding the attacks. This is like a long battle of attrition. As long as you're reacting to the attacks appropriately, you'll be safe. Like that attack there, you can do the dive attack. I found that to be the most reliable. Any of the other ones that have projectiles, you can see where they're going, so it's just kind of paying attention to where they're going to drop and just playing to be a bit more defensive. You see there, she was doing the bind. You usually have enough time to react to it with the claw line, or if you have a throwing tool, as that's going to be able to interrupt it immediately. So she'll continually keep getting quicker and quicker, but as long as you're using the same tools and ways to avoid the attacks, you won't get too overwhelmed. It's the second phase where things get a little bit more difficult, is there's a couple projectiles on screen. This fight in particular, you do need to react quickly, so the dashing attacks actually I found to work really well alongside the claw line, and if you don't have claw line, you can still use the dashing attacks to make it a lot easier. But you can see there, anytime that she tries to do the bind, it's a lot easier using the claw line to just dash right into her face. And if you utilize the claw line, you can actually do a claw line and an attack, get your silk back, and by that point you're net 0 silk. So you use up the silk to do the attack, and then you get the exact amount back. So it can be pretty nice if you're able to go ahead with that and then attack. This is into the second phase. She'll break like she's going to go, or like you beat the boss, and then she comes out a lot quicker now. I would recommend focusing heavily on just making sure that she doesn't bind, because it's going to make this fight so much easier. Unfortunately there, I let that happen. I was playing a bit more defensively. Not the best idea. I had full health here, and that was probably the worst thing I could have done. Now just focusing on those projectiles on screen. Really, there's going to be a lot coming at you, so you can dodge actually and dash your way underneath the needles there on the bottom. You see I just did it twice in a row, so that's one of the nice things. But the claw line is also another reliable way to dodge. It's probably best to keep your tools for the very end phase of this fight, as you're going to not be able to recover them unless you run back to the shrine there. So I actually found that the throwing knives were really nice, but you could also use the exploding one there. It does a lot of damage, but that's how to easily beat the first Sinner in Hollow Knight Silksong. If this video is useful, please hit the subscribe button below.